The following podcast may contain adult language and an abundance of salt. Really sexy salt. So get ready, nerds, because we're talking Buck Rogers in the 25th century, episodes 1 and 2, The Awakening. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us on this especially sexy episode of the Salty Nerd Podcast. We're talking Buck Rogers in the 25th century. This is, of course, a part of our club members' content where we talk about classic sci-fi every single month. I'm joined, as always, by my fantastic panel of nerds and the man who chose this theme this month, Matt Vader74. What's up, dude?
I am good. How are you?
I'm
awesome.
Horned up. You have a lot of explaining to do.
I'm a little horned up myself. Listen, I haven't watched this since I was a kid, right? I just wanted some nostalgia.
Yeah.
Especially after I wanted some nostalgia. I wanted some fun after Kadish, wasted us last month with that
you guys
Muppet
quit
shit.
picking him up.
Don't kick him. Dude, and, our patrons revolted. They were like, we don't want to do trivia.
We're out. It's like, I'm glad we didn't lose any patrons. Maybe we did. I don't know. We haven't got our numbers yet.
Yeah.
But no, listen, this came out, I was 9. This was in my special geek forming years of my development. This is 2 years after Star Wars came out. There's a big rush in Hollywood to pump out, each studio's own version of Star Wars kind of stuff, right, Matt? And this is around the same time. Let's see, this came out, I think Battlestar was either out or being filmed about around
this is actually
time.
a Glenn Larson production who created Battlestar, and they kind of used all the Battlestar rejects in terms of props and special effects for this show.
There's a lot of similarities between the original Battlestar Galactica and this show. Sound effects, the way the ships go shooting through the tubes and everything. I was shocked at how much overlap there was.
I've never seen the original Battlestar.
You'll love it.
Okay. If it's anything like this, I will for sure.
It's very similar in its tone and effects and stuff. Yeah, but no, this was just a really cool show that I remembered when I was a little kid, and it was awesome then, and it's
freaking pretty
still
awesome.
Kind of awesome now. I was shocked at how much I still like it.
Yeah,
for sure.
Right on. Judah's also here.
Hello.
Did you enjoy?
Oh my gosh, this was so much fun.
All right, cool. I'm really excited to get into this with you guys.
Like when the dancing started, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but when the dancing started, I was like, I have to dance.
and she did. She mimicked Buck Rogers' dance all night.
I went like this.
He's got some moves.
And for the audio only, I'm pursing my lips.
He's like,
we need a GIF out there with Gil Gerard having a dance off with
the Queen.
No, with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh God. Yes.
I want to see who wins.
We can make that happen.
We can make that happen, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Because that will be awesome.
Yeah, we'll get Brian on that.
Yeah.
Kadish is also here. Welcome, sir.
Yeah, so actually it was kind of funny because I was considering choosing Buck Rogers in the 25th century for last month, but I chose to go a different direction instead. This show premiered the year after I was born, and I remember growing up seeing like bits and pieces of it on syndicated network TV and stuff like that, but I never actually watched it. I didn't even know much about it. But Buck Rogers, he started off as a syndicated comic strip in the 1930s. Eventually became like a radio show, and then like he got upgraded to movie serials. And there was actually an earlier version of the TV show that only lasted like one season. It was in black and white. They didn't really have a budget, and so and they took like really long hiatuses. So they didn't get picked up for more than one season. And then when Gil Gerard came along and he did Battlestar Galactica, and there was like a big demand for science fiction stuff because of Star Wars, he kind of somehow finagled the rights to this and created a movie version of what we're going to be reviewing that made a lot of money in the limited theatrical release. And so the studio, which was Universal Studios, was like, hey, we should turn this into a TV show. And so the movie got cut up into a 2-part pilot, which is what we're reviewing today.
Mm-hmm. Right on. So this is a Buck Rogers movie then, basically.
Basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
This is fuck Rogers.
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to dive into this episode scene by scene, break it down, have a ton of fun doing it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. I'm going to take a sip of my pumpkin spiced. What is this?
It's a boozy pumpkin spice latte.
It's a boozy pumpkin spice latte.
It is excellent.
It's great. So we'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, if you guys like this show, don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple iTunes. You can get video and audio files of this podcast. We'd love the support. And don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple. And if you want to get something from us, some cool merch, head over to saltynerdstore.com and grab one of our shirts. Jude is wearing one right now. What does it say? I have to stop you so I don't stab you.
It comes with its own knife.
Comes with its own knife. That's a great shirt designed by Matthew Kadish.
Yeah, and that was something that Jude says to me regularly.
Yeah.
I believe I said it to you on the show as well.
And Matthew Cage is wearing the Salty with the Sega Genesis logo. That is also available. Head over there and type in Salty. Just Salty for 10% off in the checkout counter. And help support us. And send us a photo if you do buy something. We'd love to see it. All right, guys, let's get into Buck Rogers in the 25th century, the first episode. Take it away.
All right. Buck Rogers in the 25th century, episodes 1 and 2, entitled The Awakening. In the year 1987, the United States launched the last National Aeronautics and Space Administration's deep space probes. On board Ranger 3 is a lone astronaut, Captain William Buck Rogers, the man with the biggest big dick energy the Earth has ever known. However, the spaceship has moved from its planned orbit, and instead of being gone for a few months, it flies aimlessly through space for 504 years. Captain Rogers is placed in a deep hibernation by forces beyond his control, where he has very sexy dreams, and remains frozen at the controls until the year 2491. The ancient lost ship is found perfectly preserved by fighter craft of the Draconian Empire, who fire upon Ranger 3, then tow it to their alien flagship, the Draconia, when they realize that it's not a threat.
Immediately, I'm like, these freaking practical effects are awesome.
Pretty cool, right?
They're pretty good. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, especially for the time and for this being a TV show, I was surprised, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like, I hate to bash on Kadish's favorite show, but like we watched Farscape, and it was a lot of like, oh, this is the early 2000s or getting close to the 2000s. We're going to use CGI, and it just never works, man.
Early CGI is
Terrible.
I mean,
like,
it just looks so dated so fast because the technology is
Yeah.
all ever evolving. So whenever it's used, like it immediately looks dated.
but with this show, like it looks dated, but it has like
But in a cool way.
a cool dated way. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it has like a nostalgic feel to it immediately.
It looks vintage, not
I like that.
dated.
Yes,
yeah, that's
I
a
like
good
that.
word.
Yeah, well, like I said before, so like a lot of this stuff, like the cockpits that you see the actors in, those were from Battlestar Galactica. Those were the same cockpits that they used for that show. And then they took a lot of designs from Ralph McQuarrie, who that got rejected for Battlestar Galactica, and used them here. They're using actual models and blue screen and stuff like that. So a lot of this stuff they were able to do kind of on the cheap, and it does look like those early 80s sci-fi shows.
I mean,
That's what it is.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, like when you compare it to like Star Wars, it's
yeah.
definitely low rent. Like it does not look as polished as the actual Star Wars films does. But for like a TV show of this era, I can imagine being a kid your age, like just watching Star Wars and then going
it
home
was
and watching
mind-blowing.
this. You're like, what the hell? This is freaking awesome. Like I totally get it.
Yeah. I remember feeling that way when I saw the Cylons the first time in Battlestar Galactica. So it's the same thing. Yeah, it was just like, holy shit, what is this? Yeah.
It's cheaper.
I immediately begged my dad for toys.
The spaceships are fucking
So
cool.
my dad goes and buys me a model that I have to put together myself.
Oh, yeah.
But
As any good father would.
yeah.
Can't play with it until you put in the
I
work.
know.
He's never satisfied.
It's like, I just want the toy, Dad. Now it's some janky model that I got glue bits all over and put the stickers on.
But if
wrong.
you put it together, you can make your own movie.
One of the interesting bits about Buck Rogers' lore is that when it first started as the comic strip, Buck Rogers was like locked in a vault underneath the ground on Earth, where he was put in suspended animation as like the nuclear holocaust happened. And he emerges later and finds Earth has been conquered by the Draconians, who were very much like inspired by Genghis Khan and the Mongols, which is why in this show, like you see how the Draconian guards and stuff like that kind of look like Mongol soldiers and stuff. But it was
Thankfully, you know when they're coming because they all smell like Drakkar Noir.
yeah, and in the original comic strip, it was very racist. It was very stereotypical.
Wow.
But Buck Rogers actually wasn't like a space explorer type guy until they decided to make him one for this this TV show.
So it was more like a Fallout thing then.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. I like the space version.
Me too. I love him just being an Iceman in the cockpit of his
Yeah,
ship.
this is the 70s. They didn't know how space worked. They thought you could still freeze people and, thaw them out later, like Austin Powers and shit.
Freeze ray.
Can't do that.
No, I don't think you can do that.
I also
See,
think
what happens
it's funny
is-
that the setup for this is basically the exact same setup for Farscape.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It is.
essentially. So,
And Futurama.
Stop trying to make Farscape happen.
and anything like Blast from the Past with, what's his name? Brendan Fraser.
Brendan Fraser.
I love that movie too.
Encino Man.
Encino. Yeah, it's a trope. It's a trope.
Captain
love
America.
Encino Man.
Captain America. All right, go ahead, Katie.
All right. After being revived, Buck meets the super hot Princess Ardala and her ship's commander, Kane. Although Ardala is supposed to be on her way to Earth on a peace mission, in reality, she's preparing to invade the planet, one that has long been the enemy of her race, which has conquered 3/4 of the universe. The universe, guys. When Buck complains of a headache, the Draconians give him a super dose of pain medication, and Buck is now super high. Not able to make sense of the stoned American astronaut, Kane believes him to be a clever spy from Earth and asks Princess Ardala's permission to use him as a Trojan horse against the pesky Earth Defense Directorate. They plant a tracking beacon on Buck's spacecraft and send his stoned ass back to Earth. Kane believes if he's a spy, they'll learn the secret route through Earth's defenses. But if he's not, the Earth forces will kill his annoying ass. Either way, it's a win-win for Kane.
Were DUIs a thing when this was made?
I don't know.
Or what?
DUIs. They have him fly a spaceship
Yeah.
high
As
hell.
a kite.
Yeah.
Well, they programmed his ship for him. Remember they said that? Like, we reprogrammed your ship to take you back home. Just get in, you drunk asshole. And he's like, okay, guys, see you later. It was goofy. Really funny, though. It was.
I like how they were like, we might have given him too much.
Yeah. It was really surprisingly comedic. Like, I didn't expect him to go that route,
Yeah.
but they're like having fun with this, goofing around. And the princess chick is freaking smoking hot.
Oh, Princess Ardala.
Ridiculous. Even her little manservant, like angry guy. I'm like, that's
Tiger Man?
That's a good looking dude. No, not
Oh,
Tiger
Kane?
Man. Kane.
Kane.
Yeah. We're like,
Why
everybody.
are all bad guys named Kane?
Kane. I don't know. Queen Kane. Whoa.
Cain and Abel.
Cain and
that
Abel.
Bible.
That's
thing.
probably where it came from. But yeah, they went really comedic with this, and I wasn't expecting that.
Do you think they went comedic on purpose, or if it's just the material just kind of plays that way?
I guess. I mean, if it's
Or
written
maybe
on
a
the
little
script, you're high and you don't take anything seriously, and you think it's all a dream. Okay, yeah, I get it. Might have just been like that.
Camp it up.
Yeah. Again, the sets, like, there's no green screen here. There's like this whole hangar bay area with the spaceship that he climbs into. It's all freaking real. I don't care if it's made out of cardboard. It still looks good.
It's funny because like on the Draconian ship, they just have like a black backdrop to the hangar bay. And then when they're on Earth, it's the exact same hangar bay, but they just put up blue screen in the background. Yeah.
I was going to ask something and I just forgot what it was because my brain's not working today. Shit.
Well, you said earlier, like, was this accidentally comedic or did they mean for it? I think that they meant for it because I think that they're trying to introduce Buck as kind of like the Han Solo-ish rogue.
Oh yeah.
And so like they wanted him to have like a little bit of humor, a little bit of swagger at the beginning because like up until the point where he's resuscitated, we don't know anything about him. He was just like asleep.
He's a rapscallion.
Exactly. So like I liked how like they just made him kind of like this drunk, like cool dude,
Yeah.
you know?
So, okay.
Doing finger guns at
Yeah.
everyone.
You got it, guys. My question for you guys is, do we know enough at this point in time? Like, who are these Draconians? Like, are they people from Earth that left, colonized another planet, and now there's like two warring factions? Like, where do these people come from?
Well, they made it clear that the Draconians, they're part of this galactic empire that is led by their emperor who has like 30 daughters. And basically, they're on their way to Earth because Earth has been ravaged by a nuclear war. And because of that, Earth depends on trade from other planets to get like food and medicine, technology and stuff like that. And the Draconians are going there on a peace delegation to kind of ally with Earth against like the pirates that have been attacking them. But their secret mission is to actually conquer Earth by invading it. And they're the ones who've been launching these pirate attacks as like a way to pressure Earth to greet them and allow them to kind of come to the planet without suspicion.
And Ardala is going to conquer Earth one man at a time.
Oh yeah, 100%. So the Draconians.
Maybe 2 at a time.
Hey, Tiger Man's getting the background video and the whole thing.
I'd fuck me.
He's just over there like this.
What's funny is in the comics, the Tiger Men are like an entire race that come from Mars.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah.
Really, from Mars?
Yeah, I think there might even be a Buck Rogers movie called Buck Rogers and the Tiger Men from Mars.
I dig it.
Do they all get to wear cool little tiger print panties around?
Yeah.
Buck Rogers, he came to fuck on Mars.
So they are different. They're not humans. They're aliens from a different part of the universe that
Correct.
just came to Earth. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I wanted to know. I just didn't know if there was like some weird
Let's all the parts are the same.
mythology. behind it.
Well, the Emperor just like bangs whatever alien race he wants and has like daughters.
A ton of daughters.
Yeah.
He's got no male heirs to the throne at all.
Apparently not.
They all just wear bikini tops.
Yes. They're all sexy as hell. They all look exactly
Well,
like her.
I think he might have sent Princess Ardala because like she looks like humans, and that was like like the reason behind sending her and Kane.
I like that a little bit of headcanon there.
Good.
Yeah, good stuff.
Definitely
Makes
headcanon.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Continue.
All right. Buck, who still thinks his entire alien encounter is nothing but a dream, tries contacting Houston only to be intercepted by Earth's security forces, led by Colonel Wilma Deering. Deering escorts Buck to New Chicago, unknowingly allowing the draconian transmitter on Buck's ship to send the safety corridor information back to Kane. Safely back on Earth, Buck realizes he's now in the future, where human civilization was destroyed by nuclear war, and they're now run by a council of Amazon Alexas. I mean, the Computer Council. Buck is teamed up with a fun-sized robot named Twiki and a talking dinner plate named Dr. Theopolis, and they all quickly become best friends forever. Not content to spend his days sleeping on an inflatable pool raft, Buck decides to go out beyond the safety of the city and explore the waste of old Chicago. Ironically, the Chicago of 2491 isn't any less dangerous than the Chicago of 2022, so at least things haven't gotten worse. Accompanied by Twiki and Dr. Theopolis, Buck finds the graves of his family, which look remarkably good for having survived a nuclear holocaust 500 years ago. But then assholes from the waste of old Chicago show up and try to snatch Twiki to sell him for parts on the black market. And just as Buck Rogers is about to do something cool with a tree branch, Deering shows up with her tanks and laser guns and girl bosses Buck back to New Chicago.
All right.
Listen, first things first. Wilma is working that uniform.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. That
For
freaking,
sure.
that ass is putting in some work. I couldn't take my eyes off it. I was like, oh my God, that freaking uniform is
Well,
amazing.
here's the thing. You're not supposed to take your eyes off it.
That's the point, right? And also, she's doing a straight up Princess Leia impersonation
100%.
for this entire show. Like, I'm watching, I'm like, she's got the accent down, she's got the attitude down. I mean, she is like Carrie Fisher Jr. in this show, and I'm here for it.
Only she don't need no man to save her.
Right? You're gonna be the better Princess Leia
Until she does.
until she does. And
Do you hate the robot?
oh fuck, do I hate the robot?
I hate the robot so much that I think I love it.
What
Because
is wrong with
every
you guys?
time he comes on screen, I out loud have to go beady 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 beady
Bitty, bitty,
beady.
bitty, bitty.
Well,
Wow, look at that
everybody's
body.
been
Like,
doing that though for
Bro.
40 years now.
it just looks like a walking penis.
What's up, bud?
Beady beady beady. What that dick do?
Yeah. I've got no love for the stupid robot, man. It takes me.
It does. He's a little dildo head.
Like I can
Absolutely.
I can handle the humor of the show with Buck Rogers being this kind of suave, goofy guy. Like, okay, that's cool. But like when they insert humor using the little robot, it doesn't work for me. And it's just annoying. And this whole sequence, like my least favorite part of these two episodes is the sequence where they go to Chicago and he's like running around with Beatty and he's just
They needed to show us what happened for some reason.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, there's mutant zombie people in the.
Did you guys notice what the talking light bright said to the robot when they were in Chicago? They were like, can't let these mutants capture us. I'd hate to tell you what he's gonna do to fucking Beady or whatever the hell his name is.
His name's Twiki.
Twiki. I hate to tell you what he's gonna do to the Twiki. I'm like, what are they gonna do to the
Why do you
Twiki?
think it's shaped like that?
I'm like, what the fuck are they gonna do with it?
Well, he actually mentioned that to Buck, where he said that they would basically break down Twiki and himself and sell their parts on the black market.
Yeah.
I mean, the term "get your head out of your ass" is there for a reason.
But what's interesting about Twiki is he was voiced by Mel Blanc,
Blanc.
Who was the voice of like
Every
Bugs
Looney
Bunny, like every Looney Tunes thing ever.
That makes so
And you
much
can kind of hear a little bit of it in the second episode where like he talks a little bit more.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting because, you know, Mel Blanc, he was the voice of Daffy Duck, and they actually did a spoof of Buck Rogers called Duck Dodgers in the 24th century.
I love
I've heard of that.
Duck Dodgers in the 24th
century.
1.5 century or something like that. It was good.
Okay, so let's see what else. Oh, with the talking light bright thing. That
Dr. Theopolis.
Dr. Theopolis.
Yes.
That got old.
He is Doctor Talking Light thing.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that old?
I don't know. Like,
I don't
I
understand.
get like at the time, this is like, look at that. Look at what we can do with electronics and lights.
That computer went to doctor school, so you got to give him like his own.
Can you buy one?
We're gonna make one.
Oh my God. He's got schematics. Do you know how to solder?
You do.
We're going to sit him right behind Alex.
It's gonna be right behind one of us.
We're going to replace the salt lamp.
I thought that this part of the episode was kind of filler.
Yeah.
to me, because
it
like
definitely is.
basically they spend a lot of time in Chicago walking around the streets, and a lot of these guys, they're just like hitting like fallen poles with sticks and like looking at them menacingly throughout from the windows.
You want to talk about the,
This
the
is-
graveyard brawl?
In a second. But,
Okay.
you know, I felt like once he landed on Earth, the next like 20 minutes is just a super rapid fire
Exposition.
exposition dump. And we get everything from what happened to Earth to why the world is ruled by talking dinner plates around Twiki's necks, and it was just, and he really overacted this part once he got into his solid white everything. Awful.
They're
looking
like,
apartment.
listen, if Shatner can do it, you can too.
It's just, you know, it's kind of funny how he never took his uniform off.
Oh, the jumpsuit? Yeah, the space
you
jumpsuit.
know,
That's all he
yeah.
has.
Well, they have other clothes.
Well, he wears a robe at one point.
I guess so. But
Sexy
it's just
robe.
the 70s version of the future is very sterile. And I never liked that whole aesthetic thing of just everything's white and silver.
They actually make fun of that at the end of episode 2 that we're
Yeah.
going to be talking about.
Yeah.
But even in other television shows, they kind of go with that in a lot of ways.
Well, that's kind of what set Star Wars apart from most other
Yeah.
things. Is
It's
their
dirty,
version
gritty.
of the future was like used, and
Yeah.
everybody else was doing the shiny metallic bullshit thing. Which, I mean, if you look at some of the new architecture these days, it looks
It's
a lot,
a
like,
lot like
that.
this.
It does.
See, do you remember the show Silver Spoons with Ricky Schroeder?
I never watched that show,
Oh, well,
but I do remember it.
Erin Gray
Uh-huh.
was the love interest on that too.
Wilma?
That's what I know her from.
Oh, okay. Right on.
Yeah, she was hot in that too.
Go ahead,
She has
Kate.
brown hair instead of blonde hair.
Oh, that's a downgrade. No.
Okay.
Love you, babe. Go ahead, Kate.
All right. Once back in the city, Dr. Hewer discovers the tracker on Buck's ship, and Buck is immediately arrested and sentenced to death as a traitor by the Council of Amazon Alexas. However, Deering, impressed by Buck's old school 20th century big dick energy, convinces the council to let him take Amazon Prime Day off so they can travel to the Draconian Envoy to unravel the mystery of why they shot at Buck's spacecraft. And all but one jerk of an Alexa thinks it's a good idea. As Buck and his posse fly their way to the Draconia supercruiser, Princess Ardala decides to slip into her royal swimwear and launch their fake pirate ships in anticipation of the Earth Defense Force's arrival. Once Buck lands, Kane and Ardala immediately try to gaslight him. But unfazed by the royal bikini top, Buck begins to show proof he was actually on the cruiser before being sent back to Earth. However, before he can get censored by YouTube and Facebook for disinformation, the fake pirates begin attacking the Draconian vessel, and Kane accuses Buck and Deering of putting the princess and their diplomatic mission in jeopardy.
Matt's just got these freaking jokes popping
He's
today.
on fire.
Oh shit! What was the first part that we talked about? Sorry, I totally spaced out there for a minute.
Basically, Dr. Hewer
okay.
accuses Buck of
Yeah.
being a traitor.
Dr. Hewer.
This is a fucking sham of a trial.
Oh, it absolutely is. But they're very efficient and very quick.
They were just like,
They're computers.
yeah. What did he do? He came here with a tracking device.
Guilty.
Kill him. It's like he's just sitting there like, what the fuck?
It's like just it's like, okay guys, how are we gonna film this? We'll just get like 12 more dinner plates with lights
Yeah.
and just put them on his shelf and we'll just voice act.
Dude, there's that one scene where like the commander guy was in the room with all the light brights, and he's like acting against it. I know there's no sound.
Yeah,
The sound was added
talking
later.
about Dr. Hewer, right?
Yeah. And he's in this room and he's arguing with the light brights. But I'm thinking about how they filmed this. I'm like, that poor actor had nothing. Like I say my line and then pause. And then I
Well,
react.
they probably just had some dude reading
In the background.
I don't know if you guys noticed this or not, but there was a lot of ADR on this stuff where they went back and re-recorded lines.
Yeah.
And I think that the way they would do it is they would have someone off screen, like reading the like the lines for the actors,
Okay.
and then like they would just cut out that person's voice, or like have them come back in post and like redub their stuff.
Exactly what I just said. But yeah,
That's exactly what they did, probably. But I don't know. This is my not favorite part of the show. I think
is it your not favorite part because it's just goofy or because it scares the shit out of you? Because we're kind of going there.
Did you hear about the AI in Google? They don't know how to turn it off.
It's weird, right?
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
See?
Buck's down there. All right.
I think it's funny that all of the draconian royal outfits have to do with being bikinis and swimwear.
Oh, dude.
That's just Princess Ardala, man.
When she walks up
She's just wearing a swimsuit with
Hell
like
yeah.
a high collar.
in that
Well,
hot
it's a high
pink.
collar, and she's got some things and some tassels, and yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, man.
After the ball that we'll talk about later, and she's back in her room, I turned to Katie and I was like, she seems like the kind of girl that takes her bra off at the end of the night.
Listen, man. Princess Ardala is there to put seats and seats or ticket
Butts
Boners in seats.
butts in seats. And
All this blood's rushing away from his brain right now.
I mean, she does well.
Oh, yeah.
She is.
He's like, beady, beady, beady.
Listen, she's beyond hot. Okay, she is just amazing.
They're both the leading actresses.
See, there is
Dude,
no comparison.
listen, man.
between fucking Erin Gray and Princess Ardala. There's none.
That uniform is
You just like skinny flat chicks, then, man. Because no, Ardala is way hotter.
You can both be right.
I like how like Ardala's like quarters just have like this huge pool in them, and she's got like these two like Egyptian handmaidens.
Yeah.
Just like
It is known.
It is no. Yeah, I love the they have like this Asian influence with the armor and like the hierarchy and stuff like that. But then like in her quarters, it's all just straight like Egyptian, like Cleopatra stuff. And she even has like the headdresses and stuff like that. It's
They're just taking shit from
it's a lot of fun,
other
dude.
things.
It's a lot of fun. I can see like Stargate SG-1 with the the Egyptian stuff. It's I can see the
she's a
influence.
go old man.
Mm-hmm. 100%. I dig it.
I've got a weird green lagoon in my bedroom too.
You just haven't changed your water in a long time.
Gotta put some of the essential oils and nutrients and some stuff in
My
there.
witch's brew.
The algae is good for your skin.
Yeah. Put some of those fish in there and nibble.
Yeah.
You guys have all
Dead
taken
skin.
part in my witchcraft. I don't want to hear it.
Oh yeah.
Tainted by black
Yeah,
magic.
man. Tiger Man's in there to rub her neck when she needs it. Give her a shoulder rub.
Can we talk about Tiger Man for a second?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Tiger Man's just there.
What's up with his makeup?
Yeah, it has like a blue stripe.
Yeah.
Is it like electronic or what are they trying to show us here?
I don't know, dude. He's Tiger
No?
Man.
He's Tiger Man.
He's her personal bodyguard.
I get it. There's more than one though.
Yeah, I didn't realize that at the end, but we'll get there in a little bit.
So there's like a whole. Well,
I
Kay
guess
just said they
there's-
are
I guess
from
there's
Mars.
There's a whole race of tigers.
There's a whole
out
race.
there.
yeah, the Tigermen are actually a race, and they're like big burly, half tigers, half men.
Are they all called Tigermen?
Yes.
Tiger Man.
Tiger Man.
Tiger
Well,
They have no names?
I think the Draconians just refer to them in the general like Tiger Man, but,
so
but I
racist.
believe they do have names. Yeah.
It's so racist against Tigermen.
Well, the Draconians are not good people. So
Are they space Nazis?
they're space Mongols.
Okay.
Okay.
I just, even you saying that
What?
kind of just annoys me.
What?
When you said it's racist.
Why?
Because people didn't give a fuck
No, I don't give a fuck
about
either.
this stuff.
I don't give a fuck. I'm just
But-
commenting
but-
because it's funny.
I understand that, but could you imagine if they like made this show and released it today? People would be losing their fucking minds because it's just misogyny and the big dick energy. And
So-
why doesn't Princess Ardala have any fucking clothes on?
So what I've learned-
I could just totally, it would never be made.
Whatever
because-
version of feminism
people are
existed in
fucking
the
weak.
70s is the
Yeah.
one that I like.
Yeah. You mean
That's my version.
You can be hot and still dress seductively and be a strong woman at
Yes.
the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, right?
All right, folks. If you guys want access to this entire episode where we break down episodes 1 and 2 of Buck Rogers, head over to saltynerdclub.com. Sign up. It's only $5 a month. You guys get exclusive access 2 awesome episodes about classic sci-fi, just like this. This month is going to be a ton of fun, so don't miss out. If you're watching this episode and you're not a club member already, sign up. It's worth $5. I guarantee you're going to have a blast. You're going to get into a great community and have a ton of fun, and join us for our watch parties on Monday nights on our Discord app as well, something near discord.com. And I'm really looking forward to this month, and I can't wait to dive farther into this show. It's going to be so much fun, and thank you, Vader, for picking this. Why don't you tell people where they can find you?
Oh, you can find me at MattVader74 on the Twitter and some of the other socials that I barely touch.
Okay. Great. Jude?
You can find me at I am Jude Juju on Instagram and on TikTok.
All right. Matthew Kadish.
You can find me at Matthew Kadish, Kadish on Twitter and Truth Social, and check out my books at kadishbooks.com.
All right, everybody. Don't forget to follow the official Salty Nerd account on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We do a lot of stuff. I've been putting in some work on the Instagram side, making some fun reels. So head over there and help support us. Send us a message, hit the like button, whatever you guys have to do on social media. Let us know you're there, because we love the attention. We're an
I love
attention
how
horse.
much work you've been doing on Instagram, because you post it and I just go, yeah, I'll add that to mine.
She just steals all my
I
gigs.
do. They're really good.
Thank you. All right, folks. Stay salty. Club members, let's go.